of YouTube. It is nice to see you beautiful faces again. We knew that this was going to, many of you guys didn't, but I kind of knew last night that there was going to be kind of a change in the environment, in the landscape in the Sebastian Rogers case, because Seth Rogers has been extremely, and I mean extremely, upset with how his case, his son's case, is progressing under the leadership of Sheriff Snuggle Struggles, which his full name is Sheriff Eric Craddock. Okay, we refer to him either as Mr. Snuggle Struggles or Craddock, because he is a dick. And he doesn't have any business being in office. He's too young, ill-equipped for this type of stuff. He doesn't have the bedside manner or the demeanor to pick up the baton for sheriff, especially when he's questioning people as to whether they are taxpayers or voters in his county before he answers a question. He actually thinks he as long as you're not in his county, he does not have to serve you. And as a matter of fact, he's not even serving the people of his county. Because Sebastian was a person from his county, and this Yahoo hasn't done a damn thing to help. He's friends with Chris Proudfoot. Prove me wrong. He's friends with Katie Proudfoot. Prove me wrong. Their family is second generation construction. Okay? They are developers and builders in the county. Tell me they haven't been pumping money into that county for years. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong that second generation hasn't helped politicians out there in Sumner County. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong that Sheriff Snuggle Struggles is not only obstructing the justice for Sebastian, he's literally standing in the way of people finding out the truth. Prove me wrong. Email is bullhornbetty@gmail.com. If I'm yelling at you, you guys might want to turn down your volume, because if you don't know, I am the loudest channel on YouTube. I scream. We get on top of rooftops. I've got a bullhorn. Okay? I've got a bullhorn. Seth had a whole get up and go. He put Bullhorn Betty's bullhorn to shame today. He got a big old box and a microphone. I want a little bit of that. But I can't use a microphone in a box because I'm Bullhorn Betty. We got to come with the bullhorn. But one of the reasons why I'm here is because he stood out. He could have went on his channel last night, right? He could have went on his channel last night and told everybody that he was going to be out there. He could have come on and made sure that there were people in solidarity. But today, I think he truly wanted Eric Craddock to hear his voice, his disdain, his frustration. Because he knew that as soon as he stood out there tomorrow, there's going to be more people standing in solidarity with him. He knew that. You know why? Because he knows he has Sebastian's army standing behind him. That's how he knows. He chose to go out there today by himself. He chose to take today for Eric Craddock to hear his voice. Why? Because today is 18 months that he has been without his son. Today is a milestone for him. Tomorrow is the milestone for we, the people. I would love nothing more than to see the flock, Sebastian's army, go out there. We're not out there screaming. If we wanted that kind of environment, Bullhorn Betty would be there. Okay? I've got my questions I'd like, and I may go out there. On all fairness, after seeing today and it just really getting me going again about that frustration and anger and dismay that I have with Sumner County, you know? This dismay I personally have, watching this man struggle and do his best and try to keep his head above water when the own sheriff has his foot on Seth Rogers' neck. When Sheriff Snuggle Struggles has his boot on the back of Sebastian's neck. He has failed this child before this child went missing. The whole damn county did. The whole damn county. But Sheriff Snuggle Struggles, he wanted that baton. He egged on that baton. He went to Sonny's wife to make sure she was advocating for him to be in that spot, and he's done nothing but be a failure after failure after failure. Hey, brother, how's that good old boys club going for you now, sir? How's that good old boys club going for you now, sir? We have a father that is out there that has had it, right? Has absolutely had it. He wants answers. He wants to know why the mother and father are not out there, why the mother and father can keep living their life when everything is pointing to the flippin' mother and stepfather. Why can't Sheriff Snuggle Struggles put together a group of people, of investigators, to go out there and investigate? Search. It's been 18 months and we got a week out of this asshole. A week. That's not good enough. Turn your volumes down. I'm going to be screaming throughout this. You guys know me. I got passion. We want people to hear our anger. We want to stand on that rooftop and we want to get loud. That's what we want. So if you guys are down for that, turn your volume down. This is just the beginning. You guys know how. I'm preaching. Don't be messing with my preaching. I'm testifying here. Right? We need our good-hearted Sebastian's army to stand in solidarity with Seth. I'd like to see more people out there tomorrow. We understand why people, as you guys know, nobody knew about this. Okay? This was Seth's day for him, for Eric Craddock to hear the father. This was Seth's day. This was Seth's day. I know that it's hot out there. If anybody would like to contribute water, ice, and that's how we do it throughout the week when we're doing lives and we're watching people out there doing God's work and fighting for the victims. What we do as a community is we make sure that they're hydrated. Okay? That's what we do as a community, make sure they're hydrated. So we're going to be sending, the Bullhorn Betty channel in the morning is going to send out some water and some ice for anybody that shows up there tomorrow. Depending on where we're at tomorrow, we might raise money to buy everybody lunch out there tomorrow. We want to make sure that things like balloons, signs, anything, we got a lot of people out here that have a lot of gifts. Some of you guys own printing companies. Some of you guys own shirt companies. Some of you guys, can put a little advertisement on a sign and go drop some signs out there. So you are advertising using that dollar to best, and I can guarantee you'll get a lot of people notating your business, but give them a sign. We want justice. Make sure that those are sent out there. Put your logo on it so people can know that you are the good-hearted person that helps supply some of those things. There's a lot we can do as a community, even though we're thousands of miles away. We all have our part to do. This is a boy that has been missing for 18 months. We as a community come together, we raise our voices, and we do things lawfully and legally. Okay? I don't want anybody out there causing problems, right? We stand, we're respectful. We say what we mean what we say, but we don't say it mean. Unless it's the father and he wants to tell the sheriff to go F himself, then we support that and we will probably say, you too, right? Because that's the kind of people we are here in Sebastian's Army. We fight. We fight lawfully and legally, not violently. We fight. We raise our voices. We go in solidarity. And so what we need from the public today is, now that we know Seth is out there, now that we know he is tired, he's sick and tired of the silence, and we need the people out there. We need the people out there. J for A, we love you. Thank you for being here. Justin for All is now in the chat. It would be great for you telling your people. Seth was out there. He needs people to come out there. Even if it's 5 or 10 minutes, do the rotation. When you have time and you're passing through, park your car, go over, give him a hug, give him some inspirational words, stay there with him for a little bit, hold a sign for a few minutes, and then get on your way. You've done your part. You've done your part. This boy means a lot to us. He's meant a lot to us since we heard his story. This boy has meant a lot to us before we knew his father. Because when we first started out in this case, we didn't know who to trust. We didn't know whether we could trust Seth, whether we could trust Katie, whether we could trust Chris. We didn't know who to trust. We didn't trust anybody. We side-eyed everybody. But the one thing we knew over and over again, the only person we saw out there day in and day out searching for his son, boots on the ground, was Seth Rogers. You know what we got from the two military-trained MMA fighting mommy and stepdaddy? We got excuses. We got excuses. There's no excuses in military. I'm telling you, I'm from a military family, and I don't get excuses from my military family because they know better. Because that crap didn't fly when they were in the military. Yet they come here and give us this bleeding heart and all this crap, and we've got an idiot, Sheriff Snuggle Struggles, that can't pull his head out of his behind to see the forest for the trees. This man does not deserve to be in office. He does not deserve to be running the sheriff. Oh, and by the way, let me tell you a little bit of tidbit about this piece of you-know-what. He had an opportunity. They had $200 million swiped from their budget, which I think is a direct result of this man right here. I think he is the reason why that county lost $200 million. Because you know what? There is nobody in any government official in any capacity at a national level or even a state level that's going to like a sheriff asking people whether they can vote for him or not before he answers a question. And we have it on recording. He is a garbage sheriff that doesn't know. He is a fish out of water. He's incompetent. He is incompetent. Look at Lisa Byington, 35-year detective, just retired because she's a piece of shit. She lied on an affidavit about me. She lied on an affidavit, testified under oath. I was in Tennessee when I was sitting here in Florida just to effectuate an arrest. That is unlawful. So we know the degree and the pedigree of the detectives that he has working under them, ones that don't mind breaking the law. That's sick. That's sick. And let's not get to Ray Whitley, another retiree from this shit show recently. But let's talk about this sheriff right here, Sheriff Snuggle Struggles. He had an opportunity at $200 million deficit to go in there and beg for research money for Sebastian. Money to help close this case. Money for the people investigating this case, right? To help them with their raises and stuff like that. Wouldn't you know that this piece of damn it, I'm opposite. This piece of shit right here went in there and begged money for his raise. His raise. He didn't care about Sebastian's case. He only cared about himself. He only cared about himself. He hasn't even been in office for a solid year, and he's got his hand out asking for a raise when he can't even talk to his public about a missing child from their community that he has failed. He is a disappointment and a disgrace. And if you guys continue to vote for him in that county, you deserve the kind of shit you're getting out of that county. And that's the real. That's the real. If this was your son, would this be acceptable for you? You know damn well it would not be. But so many times I go into this specific community and they've got everybody so twisted in the head. Oh, we don't want to rock the boat. They might start coming after us. That's pretty sick. That's pretty sick. That your community is terrified of even speaking because of what retribution and retaliation will come from your office, sir. Can you explain that to me? Explain that to me, Eric Craddock, Mr. Sheriff Snuggle Struggle. people because these are people that I talk to regularly that I trust. And they are terrified to even speak or breathe in Sumner County because of the retaliation. That is not acceptable in America in 2025. The Good Old Boys Club ends today. Money does not buy everything. Passion, determination, tenacity. That's pay dirt, bro. That's pay dirt. I'm just letting you know, that's pay dirt. So I wanted you guys to hear this because I want you guys to go over to Astrology for the Mystics. She is not a monetized channel. She's not a monetized channel. It will upset me if people monetize it. I guess I'm kind of breaking my own card. Well, while she's live. I'm only taking a segment. If you guys want to watch the whole thing, you go over to her channel, watch the whole thing. That's how I roll, right? But there is a segment in here that Seth is here. So we're gonna run over that. But I think this is a good step in the unveiling of the BS. I think that we need to support Seth in this pressure. Okay? And that's why I decided to come live. I mean, look at this. We used to, when we ran a story on Sebastian Rogers, we used to have 1,000 to 2,000 people in every single chat, no matter how many people were running the story. And I just want to tell you how sad it is that we went from Sebastian's army to 330 people in the chat when Seth is out there advocating for his son. That's really sad to me. It's really sad to me. But this is why I think he's doing what he's doing. He's realizing that, other cases are going on. Other law enforcement bodies are speaking to the public. They're getting more attention because the law enforcement wants these cases in the news, where we have a crappy sheriff that has done everything he can to not have to do his job or have to solve this case or have to throw his friends in jail. I think that's what it comes down to. He does not want to throw his friends in jail. There's no excuse for this. None. If you guys don't mind, I'd like to start making sure that Sumner County feels some of this pain. And I think Sumner County Sheriff needs to start getting telephone calls from you asking them why they are failing Sebastian and failing to do searches. I'd like you to ask them when you call their office, do they think Sebastian's in their office? Because they apparently do. Because that's the only place they're searching for Sebastian is inside that building. And I have to think that that child's not in that building. I'd have to think Sebastian is wherever Chris and Katie put him. Period. Thank you, B. Betty. I do not like Sheriff Snuggle Struggles. I do not like Sumner County leadership. I think they're corrupt as all get out. And you guys know my history. I hear corruption in every single case I go into, but we never see it. But these people literally try to intimidate people helping Seth to get them to quit helping Seth. I have never in my life heard law enforcement do that. I have never heard in my life law enforcement providing legal representation to Chris and Katie Proudfoot like TBI and Sumner County have. Don't talk to them. Don't take a lie detector test. You may not want to do this. You may not want to do that. It might come back at you. Who does that? Are you trying to solve a case or give him a heads up so he doesn't look so guilty? I would love to be out in front of your sheriff's office with my bullhorn, sir, because I've got a lot of stinking questions for you. And I don't think you're watching the Bullhorn Betty show. Maybe I need to go out there. Maybe I need to go out there with my bullhorn to ask questions because Seth only wants to know where his son is. And I understand his point. I want to know where the corruption came from and what they're planning on doing about the corruption in their community. But I don't want to take away the focus of Sebastian. So what I do need from the folks out here is I need you guys, the people that showed up for my court hearing at that courthouse down the road that took your day and gave it to me. I need you to do that for Seth. I need you to do that for Seth this week. He's going to be out there all week. I want to make sure that he has people coming by and checking on him. You don't have to stay very long. If your schedule does not allow for it, then just do what you can. But I'd like to see people out there. I'd like to see people getting online and passing out, like Jen. She's going to be running this live when she can. Pass her stuff around so they can see it. I don't want to hear from the hate channels, right? Because it's all about the money for them. Well, here we go. Seth's out there. He's not getting paid a dime. Jen's not out there getting paid a dime, yet they're spending a lot of money. They're taking their time to fight for Sebastian. How many others will be willing to do that? Jen's a content creator. How many other people in the community are going to go out there and help and stand in solidarity with Seth? I hope a lot. I want him to feel the love, guys. You know, for him to be, God, it's been such an emotional day for me. I need to shake it off. I don't know if I'm going to be on here very long. I got to shake this up because it's been an emotional day hearing about Brandy, you know, seeing this, just seeing him, it's hard. How can we help go out there and be with Seth? How can we help you go out there and be with Seth? Well, yeah, we could raise, but you know what? At the end of the day, this is what I'd like. I'd like to see if I need to go out there, I'd like to go out there on Thursday, and then I can be back home. My mother's going in for surgery, guys, so I'm kind of limited on what I can do because my mom's going in for surgery. She's going in for a major surgery, not like a heart surgery or lung surgery, but she's going in for her shoulder. And I know that many of you guys might have already had shoulder pain or shoulder surgery, and you guys know her uphill battle. So I'm going to be there for my mom's surgery, and I'm going to be staying with her for the first week to make sure she's taken care of. Not that I don't trust my stepfather to take care of my mom, but I just know a man can never take care of my mom the way I could take care of my mom. So, you know, it's my duty. It's my mommy wiped my poopy butt, okay? And I probably threw up on her and peed on her. Okay? The least I can do is be there for my mom when she goes in for surgery and make sure she has the best quality of care when she comes home. And so that's kind of what I am going to be doing. And so just to let you know, I'm kind of limited on a lot of different fronts until my mom is healed. But if we can get some more people out there tomorrow, I will come in on Thursday and just stand there in solidarity with Seth. This is just a horrible situation. Thank you, Justin. I appreciate it. I know Mama appreciates it too. She loves you. She loves you. Let's talk about how we got here. Let's talk about how we got here to this point. So Sebastian, well, let me just show you some things, and then we're gonna talk about why we're here. Let me get you guys up on the screen. Am I on the right one? Did I lose my freaking screen? The hell? The hell? The hell? What the hell's going on here? Oh, yeah, I didn't want that up there. Hold on a second. That's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. Hold on, let me get this off here. Okay. I got the wrong. Let me put that down. Okay, so we got this one. I didn't want to do that. Damn it. Did I click it out? Don't tell me I clicked it out. Let's just go. I did click it out. Damn it. I didn't want to do that. Give me just a second, guys. I kind of screwed up something. I forgot that I have two different windows open. I couldn't close that one out because that's for our evening show because we're still on Emmanuel Haro. I just need to grab the right screen capture, and I don't have the right screen capture. So just give me a second. It's going to take me just a wee little bit. Give me just a second here. Oh, it's not screen capture. It is browser. Hold on. That's probably my problem. No, it's screen capture. That's screen capture. Give me a second. Properties. There we go. Display. No, we're going to do window. Now we're back. There we are. All right, we got it, folks. We got it. It just took a little minute. Golly, just bear with Betty. Oh, good gracious, what is Betty doing? She's screwing it up, folks. She's screwing it up. Leave it to Betty. Remember, leave it to Beaver. Leave it to Betty. Okay, so we've got this going on here. This is I think she did. A minute. I think she did a, there we go. Let's move this on over. There we go. Now we can kind of see what's going on here. All right, give me a second. Let's listen to what we got. What we got.
Spawn. Do you know if he's in there?
I know, because they hit the button and asked if he was in there.
Okay.
So Eric Craddock is in.
No. We want to make sure he's in here.
Okay.
Because
It's hard to hear.
he came out and said anything. All he's going to do is lie. I mean, he's a politician now.
Yeah.
The oath meant nothing to him. Him carrying a badge means nothing to him.
Right.
And obviously, my son missing means nothing to him.
That is an angry father, folks. Can we agree? Can we agree that is one angry father? I mean, he wants answers. Thank you, Be Betty fan. We're not watching this whole thing. We're only watching that aspect of it. And it's because, one, I think you need to go over to Astrology for Mystics, which is out there right now with Seth. She needed to, sorry, I'm going to move this. I'm going to adjust this just a little bit so we can get this a little bit. Oh, good gracious. All these little buttons to, gotta get it all pinned up, and then we'll have a good. But Astrology for the Mystics. She's right there. Be Betty fan has put her in the chat. Get over there and check her out. Watch this whole entire live. She didn't really want to get near him because of the music. The music, and just this is for anybody that's streaming. If you are not monetized, then they're not going to hit you with copyright because you're not making any money off the stuff. There's no damage you're causing the creator or anything like that. Now, I'm sure if you started putting out, blockbuster movies on your channel, there might be something to say about that. But typically, with the music, the copy, they don't knock your videos when it's non-monetized if you're out, because it's radiant noise. You're in the public, and the noise is encroaching on your public property. They can't give you copyrights over that, and there are designations, and this is for all people there. If you guys have background noise when you are in a public setting, there is an option as a waiver of copyright for background noise. You sometimes can't. If it's playing in the background, it's not the purpose of your video. So it's not really drawing people in, because we're not stealing concerts. We're stealing background music that's in a public area. So believe it or not, YouTube does have stuff like that. I've heard people say, I'm going to go buy and blast music so they get a copyright. Well, I've been doing this for a long time, and one of the things that I do is these type of displays out in the public forum, and there's been many times that I've had background music, and you guys see my stuff is still up, no copyright strikes, no nothing. It's because I was in a public place, and it was the background music encroaching on my video, not me stealing content. So there has to be intent with everything, and so there are requirements just for everybody's knowledge. The real Mr. E. Yes, thank you. It's nice to see you guys. I'm just saying, it's so sad that we've gotten here. Aw, Pearl didn't sleep last night. She doesn't want to get out of bed still. Is she going through do monkeys have heat? Because I know that Delilah, thank you, Pammy Bear, gifted 10 Bullhorn Betty memberships. If you received your Bullhorn Betty membership, don't forget to tell Pammy Bear thank you. And for the 10 beautiful people, Welcome to this crazy family we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. Grab your straitjacket in your padded room and welcome aboard. It is a crazy ride, no doubt. A crazy ride. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust this because sometimes my earpiece is just a little too loud, but sometimes I need it too loud. Look at that. It's official. Aw, Pammy Bear. You should feel special. You should feel special. You gave Mr. and Mrs. Z their membership. Oh, that's so sweet. I love it. I love it. I know a lot of beautiful people are here and are members to the Bullhorn Betty channel, and just thank you to all of you folks. But I do want to let you guys know that Seth is out there. Seth, everybody's saying, what's Seth doing? What's Seth doing? You know what? He was feeling hopeless and helpless. That's what he was doing. And now he's reclaiming some of that hopeless and helpless feeling and putting it into action. And certainly the Sebastian's army is going to support him. I'm so saddened to only see 387 people in my chat about this very important information. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking because Sebastian means so much to many of us. So I pray to God that people will come here for, maybe after work, maybe some few people. Hey, Auntie E, it's nice to see you. It's nice to see you after work and stuff like that. Oh, and I keep forgetting the E. Well, you guys got some other things going on. But hey, you know what? I'm sure your debut out there, maybe taking a cup of coffee or drinking a cup of coffee would be nice. I'd like to see you guys out there and say, hey. Hey, Betty. Hey, Coffee Club. Hey, Crime Dogs. Because this is super important. You know, I think this is a lot of bottled up, pain that we're going to see Seth continuing to exhibit out there because he's missing his son. 18 months. I want you guys, the ones that have your babies in your home still, I want you to look at your child tonight and tell me, what would you be willing to do for that child if you missed that child for 18 months? 18 months, folks. Can you imagine not getting your hug, not getting your phone call, not taking care of your child when they're up and they can't go to sleep or, they're not feeling well? The birthdays, the holidays. I want you guys to go deep. Go deep. What would you be willing to do for your child if your child was missing 18 months? To be honest with you, you don't want to know my answer. You don't know what I would be willing to do for my loved ones. You don't. It's too barbaric for YouTube. Okay? It's too barbaric for YouTube. And many of you know I'm a barbaric woman. Proud barbaric woman. But there's not a whole lot I wouldn't do for my family. Because as many of you know, I really don't, I would never lose my life over somebody disrespecting me. That doesn't rise to the level needed for me to do something that would be, you know what I'm saying? The only way I'd get in trouble like that is because I love somebody so much and somebody hurt somebody I love so much. That is the only time my mind would go there. It wouldn't be over words. It wouldn't be over somebody being disrespectful to me. But there's nothing I wouldn't be willing to do. And for a child, for a grandchild, for my stepchildren, I think this day has been brouhaha, and this week that's about to come up, I think it's been brouhaha for 18 months. I think all of that, not wanting to rock the boat, within Seth, him just trying to do like everybody else does in the county, get along, ain't working for him. It ain't working for him anymore. He wants answers. I don't see him going away. I'm not sure. I really just don't see him going away. I see this being this week. I see this being next week. I see more and more people finally getting attuned to this. I also see other people. I can envision other people from other areas that know this place is corrupt coming in and joining with Seth because he's sick and tired of it. He wants answers for his son. Now, Sumner County can just bring him into his office and sit down and talk to him now, couldn't they? So if they're not doing that, then they're intentionally trying to cause problems. Because I truly believe the reason why they did this, because they got pissing contests, they got penis measuring contests. This is the country way for these country boys here, okay? And they don't like, just like my attorney, that shitty attorney Terry Frizzell, which should not have a bar license. He's a joke. I hope you guys go and put a bad review for Terry Frizzell. What a joke he is. But they're all in this together. That's why I had to ship in a freaking attorney, because this place is so corrupt. I can't even find a legitimate attorney in Sumner County. They're all shit. They're all connected. I'd be very concerned with the people that hire the attorneys in that town. You felt railroaded by your defense attorney? It's probably because you were. It's probably because you were. Because I saw the likes of the people in that county, you know, on a professional level, and they're all in bed together. And it wouldn't surprise me if literally in some of the cases. But I think this has been brewing for a while. You know, Seth has been sitting there. He's been trying, you know, he's got consultation from Tony, which, you know, in all fairness, excuse me, in all fairness, has been doing his best to advise, excuse me, I don't know why that did that. He's been doing his best to advise, you know, Seth. He's been trying to make sure that Seth is, you know, is presented well on a national level. And I think Tony has hit that out of the park. I really do. And he has been very supportive of Seth and, Seth's avocation. I think, you know what, Robin, it's not that where has he been. I think it's more of, look at what all happened. They had to start doing their work behind the scenes, which is exactly what Sumner County wanted. Sorry, my camera might come back on here in just a second. There, hopefully you guys can still hear me. But I think it pushed a lot of people doing the work behind the scenes. Trust me, there's been a lot of work going on behind the scenes, okay? Because, you know, the intimidation factor of the local law enforcement. And they have been intimidated. They have been, like, they should, like, some of the sheriff deputies should be in jail. Literally. They have done nothing but harass people trying to help. On public property. Like, where they don't have any jurisdiction to, I mean, everything's above board, but yet they're out there harassing the people. Harassing them. The only people that has been obstructing this case is Chris, Katie, and the sheriff's department. They're friends. They're friends at the sheriff's department. We're going to have to make sure we keep saying they're friends, because they are their friends at the sheriff's department. We actually approached Eric for clarification on how much of friends they are. They refuse to answer those questions. They refuse to answer whether anybody that's associated with Chris and Katie are on the case. Why? I would think that any sheriff that was presented with the appearance of impropriety would want to get that rectified immediately. Nope. They put their tail between their legs and refuse to answer. Why? Because the people asking the questions weren't taxpayers in their county. They can't vote for him, so he doesn't care about them. We have him on record asking people when they asked him a question whether they were residents of his county or not, and refused to answer the question because they were not residents of his county. Now, I think that when that information got out, I think that was a $200 million mistake for this man. Because any leader of any state that hears that smells trouble. So now many people are asking, well, what dog does he have in the fight to put his foot on the neck of the case? Well, when you have a developer that's stifling millions of dollars into the county in, what are they? Impact fees, right? Impact fees, other taxes for building. When you basically have a well-known builder that is financing the county, well, now you understand why maybe the elected sheriff might have problems doing his job. So I think the swift action of the state of Tennessee to remove $200 million from their budget, I think was wise. I mean, you can go to second generation. Maybe they can recoup that $200 million you lost. I'm certain they'll be happy to do that for you, since you're covering their family's ass and everything, right? Because the only person that they've hurt with their conduct is not just Sebastian. They've hurt their whole entire county. $200 million is hurting everyone. And you know what? Sheriff Struggles still doesn't care. He still doesn't care what he does to his community. He doesn't even care about a missing boy from his community. Do you think he gives a rat's ass about your kids? I mean, I'm just asking, if the shoe was on the other foot, do you think he would give your kid any better attention than Sebastian, a disabled child? I would be very terrified to be in this county as a parent. Seriously. When I go into that county, I'm going in there as a single woman. I would not bring children to that county. I'm terrified for myself going into that county. I'll go into it and I'll deal with whatever I got to deal with. Already done that and did that, haven't I, Mr. Sheriff Struggles, with all your lying POS detectives? They can keep throwing innocent people in jail, but they can't seem to throw one guilty person in jail. Why is that? That surely does sound corrupt, doesn't it? It surely does sound corrupt. Interesting. I wonder if I'm out there protesting, if they're going to try to arrest me for my words again. I don't know. Maybe you guys need to make sure we have bail money if I go out there. Because we know that this guy can't. My mouth is lethal. Don't you know? My mouth is lethal. Eric Craddock might be scared of the words that might come out of my mouth. I mean, I'd hate for my words to be lethal. About how he's like a POS. If you have not been following this case and wondering why I am so stinking hard on this sheriff, I would suggest you study the case. And if you're not as equally as irate at this sheriff as I am, I might have to send you some material. You're not looking at the right stuff. Amen, Mary. Truth hurts. So that's why we're here. We need some people out there. We need to make sure that this is that Sebastian's well represented out there. Whether you agree with what's going on or not, we have to agree that Sebastian deserves this. Sebastian absolutely deserves this. And I pray to God that you guys help support this, help support Seth. I absolutely believe in you. If anybody is out there tomorrow, whether you are a content creator or not, please go live if you can, or send me a video of what's going on out there. If there's news organizations out there giving Seth an interview, please try to don't get in their camera view, stand behind them. You want to be respectful, but try to get as much of that interview as possible. I absolutely believe people will be out there. It sounds like by 8 a.m. Seth will be out there. He was out there at 5 a.m. this morning. So if you guys are early risers and you want to go and have a cup of coffee with him before you go to work, well, he's going to be in front of Sumner County Sheriff's Department. Go out there, bring a cup of coffee, bring a chair, sit down and have a cup of coffee with him in the morning. That's what you can do. Thank you, Brenda. But I'd like my content creators that partner on these cases and help advocate for these cases. Please encourage your constituents. Please encourage your audience, if they're in the area and they can go out there, even just to go give him a hug and make their way on to work. Do you understand how important that hug for 2 seconds means to somebody like Seth that's out there and feels completely and utterly alone and bare and exposed and vulnerable? It means literally the world. You guys will never know the power that you have when you show up and just say, and just give them a hug and say, we're praying for you. You have no idea how that simple, free gesture impacts somebody's life, especially somebody like Seth Rogers. He's fighting for his son. He's been the only one fighting for his son. Chris and Katie are always MIA with a whole shitload of excuses about why they're MIA. We are over the excuses. The excuses wouldn't be accepted in the military, and we as the public will no longer accept the BS excuses anymore. Something has to be done. Sumner County needs to open their mouth. They need to be actively trying to keep Sebastian's name in the public instead of trying to extinguish the last little bit of him left. I'm sick and tired of this sheriff. He's got to go. He's got to go, and I pray to God the community is as outraged with this sheriff as I am and the rest of the world while we're watching as an outsider. You guys might be living in this and thinking it's hunky-dory. This is not normal, folks. Go look at true crime. What Eric Craddock's doing is not normal. So there's a reason why he's doing it. It's not normal. No sheriff does this to a case. None. We need to be demanding why. Sebastian deserves better. He deserves a real investigation, and he deserves to be brought home. And if they don't know what the hell they're looking at in all those reports, it's time for them to get the FBI involved. It's time for them to acknowledge that they don't have what it takes to bring this case home and get it solved for the sake of Sebastian, not for them or their point system behind the scenes. This is more important than their what mysterious number that they need to have in the state of Tennessee to try to say that they're a safe county. You just lost $200 million because you are an embarrassment. An embarrassment. Pull your head out of your butt and start working on this case. Enough's enough. Enough's enough. Nothing is happening in Sebastian Rogers' case. All of the leads that we sent them, who knows if they even followed up on them? Who knows? But I think it's time for us, if you reported any type of evidence in Sumner County, it's time for you to take your reports and send them over to the FBI. Okay? Seth does not want anything going to Sumner County anymore because they have done nothing in his son's case. He wants the FBI involved. They're not communicating with the FBI. It's time for the people that turned over information, even Miss Bobby. Miss Bobby, if you are watching this, even if you're in the bushes, we know that you have turned over a lot of stuff to Sumner County. It's time for you to make the call to the FBI and turn over whatever you turned over. And please start getting the community that you're friends with and having them do the same. Even those videos, all those videos Sumner County had. The school's the same way. If you turned over videos to Sumner County, please consider turning them over to the FBI. We're done. I think that I can personally... Oh, good gracious, Pammy Bear. Thank you. Thank you. That was really gracious, by the way. Thank you. But call those in, people. Oh, Scotland. Nice to see you. I think it's time for us to turn the case over. There is a change.org bill. You know how those things go. We have to actually have a sheriff that really cares about his reputation or his job, which this one doesn't, because he's in a good old boy system and he thinks he's just going to keep his job because of his affiliations. I just want to make sure you guys understand that's why he's acting this way, is because he honestly believes that his job is secure because he's part of the good old boy system in Sumner County. And that's why I want to make sure I find out all the players in Sumner County's good old boy system, and I'm working on it. I've already got a few players myself. I want to make sure that they're in the back rooms of the shittiest bars to conduct their work. They're not going to be able to conduct their work in light. And let me find out you're violating laws, communicating, especially the county commissioners. If you guys are communicating amongst yourselves when you're not on that dais, we've got some problems. We got some legal problems. I'm going to go through this whole entire county. I'm just done. I'm right there with Seth. There's the FBI number right there, 202-324-3000, option 6. This is a great way. Yeah, Ronnie Lawson there's nothing I can do with Ronnie Lawson. Everybody in Hopkins County knows exactly how corrupt Ronnie Lawson is. It was written in stone when he got his son off from diddling with kids, and yet they still, every single year, put him back in office. That's a community problem. There's nothing I can do for that, okay? There's nothing I can do to help that community with their problems, because they see the problems and they're not even willing to help themselves. So I walk away from communities like that. I walk away from communities like that. So that's where we are with Ronnie Lawless. That's it. And everybody knows it. We know it. The community knows it. His voters know it, but they have a good old boy system there that keeps him in power. And then in those good old boy systems and clubs, they're detrimental to our community. If they were actually a benefit to our community, why are they doing it in secret? Right? Why are they in the back rooms? Why are they on their phones and not in the sunshine, not in the light of the public, not being transparent? If it was so good for the community, why do they have to do their business in the back rooms of their offices? Right? If it's so good for the community, then they should have those conversations in the public light. But we know it's not good for the community. It's only good for them. And now you see the result of these good old boy clubs putting people in office that don't deserve to be there, that didn't work for it, that don't have an idea if even how to pop their head out of their behind. And it's because of these good old boy systems that says, oh, you're up next. You're up next. We're all going to stand down so we push you up. That's sick. You're conning your community. You're conning your community. So please consider, if you have reported evidence and information to Sumner County. And this goes for the content creators. We all need to be pushing this. All those tips, leads, and evidence needs to go over to the FBI. It sounds like Seth Rogers is going to be out in front of that sheriff's department all week. I hope, and if you do, please send photos and videos of what's going on out there to me at bullhornbetty@gmail.com, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. But I would like to see some of the Sebastian's Army come together. I really would. That would be amazing if we can get that rolling out. You don't need to go with signs, but if you'd like to have makeshift signs, or you've already had signs made from our gathering of voices, bring those out and help with Seth and Sebastian avocation out there. He's doing this because he does not know what else to do. He's angry and he wants answers, and every time he calls the sheriff's office, he basically gets ghosted. Ghosted. A father fighting, like, we look for parents always calling law enforcement to find out updates, and this law enforcement doesn't even care. Doesn't even care. I hope that sheriff that came to the vigil, he seemed like he actually had a heart. He was a major. I gave him a hug. I hope he runs for sheriff, because it's that kind of law enforcement I think Sumner County needs. And I can't remember the major's name. We will find what that major's name is. But I'm going to tell you, he stood up there and spoke on behalf of Sumner County. And he was probably, I could tell he cared. I could tell he cared. Eric Craddock, the sheriff, didn't even show up. He's a piece of shit. The sheriff in your county is a piece of shit. He is not. He has no human traits to him. He has no compassion. That is a requirement to be a sheriff. And he doesn't even have the basic requirements to be a sheriff. All right. Whew. Thank you, Susie Sue. Thank you, Susie Sue. If people don't know, that's not related to Chris and Katie, unfortunately. This is Rebecca and Jake Haro. I'm glad I looked at that. Guys, they are not walking out. They are not walking out. I feel like I'm going to cry today, like more than I've already cried. Today has just been a really emotional day for me. And I'm literally on the verge of crying right now. Today has truly been an emotional day for me. We've had a lot of ups and downs today, you know. We were kind of worried this morning. Guys, give me just a second. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be unprofessional here. This is a little, it's just been an emotional day. It's been an emotional day. Okay. Okay. I got myself together, but it's just been an emotional day. So if you don't know what we're talking about, so we started out this morning not knowing whether Jake and Rebecca were going to be behind bars. As a matter of fact, and like I said, I thought it was, people making a mountain out of a molehill because of everything I've heard. We even had like defense attorneys up saying, it doesn't seem like they have just enough. And it's like, yeah, I don't think you've heard about everything. I'm pretty confident in the processes that I know to get where they need to be. And I was very hopeful for this. But, Devlin Tate, Sebastian, Emmanuel. But then while we were talking about that case and the possibility of Rebecca and Jake being able to walk free, which, unnerved us, let's be honest. We found out that Brandy Neal was being, basically bay-flighted, what we call bay-flight, life flight, to a hospital, and she's in liver failure, and she's a mom of one of the victims that we cover, Michael Monkey Vaughn. He disappeared on July 27th, 2021. He was abducted. He most likely was murdered, and he was most likely SA'd or R'd by Brandon Shurtleff or God knows who else in that group. There was 4 of them. Stacy and Sarah and Stacy Wandra, Brandon Shurtleff and Adrian Lucen. And so that caught me off guard because the thought of her not being able to see justice for her son is breaking my heart. And then we come here after being unnerved about that, and we see Seth at his, at his, hopeless and helpless moment of just wanting to fight for his son. And so we're out there listening to him pour his heart out, demanding answers from the sheriff while the sheriff sits in the comfort of his office and ignores a father begging for his help. Sick piece of garbage. And then we come over here and, we find out finally good news that Rebecca and Jake aren't getting out of jail, and it's been an up and down roller coaster all day emotionally. So I'm just glad that at least out of all this crap we saw today, from not knowing whether they were going to be in jail, hearing about Brandy, seeing Seth, at least now that we're wrapping up, the afternoon, time, we're now learning at least some good news, which is not really good news because it's about a 7-month-old flipping baby. So it's not, I mean, even this, I mean, we're happy that disgusting, deplorable, deranged murderers stay behind bars. Like, this is insane. Marchell saying Jonathan H. Anyone know if he's okay? The autistic 20-year-old? No, ma'am. We haven't even touched that case. Okay, Astrology for the Mystics is back live. Can you guys throw the channel in the chat, mods? Throw the channel in the chat for Astrology for the Mystic for the live. We're going to end our show here. I'm going over to Astrology for the Mystics. She's the one out there for Sebastian and Seth. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to support her. She's out there on an unmonetized channel. I'm going to be very upset if people are stealing her content for profit while she's streaming live. You're either a good person or a dirtbag. If you steal somebody's non-monetized content for monetization, I mean, you saw I took a clip. You want to do that? That's fine. But this person is out there, boots on the ground, and she should be the one that is explaining. Nobody should be stealing her content on YouTube. And if they do, block those people because they don't have respect for one another. Okay? They don't have respect for the content creators out here working their tail end off. And she's a beautiful person. Her husband took off work. They're eating money today. They're not out here making money. And we support Jen Jennings. Okay? Astrology for the Mystic. Sweet person. Been with Seth since the beginning of this case. So if you guys would like to go over there, there you are. Thank you, The Real Me Too. Be Betty fan, thank you. Please click that link, sub up to her channel. I'm going to go over there now. I hope to see you guys there supporting Seth. I'd like to see a plethora of green hearts in his chat. I want him to feel Sebastian's army. I want him to feel our love for him and his son. That's what I'd like to see. So if you guys would like to join me, please come over to Jen Jennings' channel, and we'll be over there showing love. And that's where I'm going to be. All right, guys. God bless. We'll see you soon.